Alright, so our next story is George and the Puppies. Alright, so this is George. George was a good little monkey and always very curious. One day George went for a walk with his friend, the man with the yellow hat. There they go, going for a walk. We like to go for walks too. When they sat down to rest, they noticed a tiny kitten peeking out from under the bush. Ah, it's a kitten. The kitten looked frightened. Perhaps she is lost, said the man with the yellow hat. Together he and George searched the park for the little kitten's owner, but the kitten was all alone. This kitten is too young to be on her own, the man said. We should take her to the animal shelter, where they can take care of her and find her a home. She doesn't look too happy, does she? So George and the kitten and the man with the yellow hat drove to the animal shelter. There they go. There's the animal shelter. The director of the shelter was glad to see them. It was good of you to bring the kitten here, he said. She said, We will be happy to take care of her. George gave the kitten to the director, and then he and the man with the yellow hat walked inside. Come in, the director said, but watch where you step. We have a large litter of puppies, and one has gotten out of his cage. We're still looking for him, so please be careful. She closed the door quickly behind them. Think George is going to go find the puppies? I bet he is. Always getting into trouble. George had never been to an animal shelter before. Animals of all kinds were being cared for here. George saw bunnies, cats, turtles, guinea pig. He even saw a snake. Look at them all. I see turtles, bunnies. I don't know what those are. Like guinea pigs. That's a raccoon. Wow. Dog and kitties. And there's that snake. But George didn't see any puppies. Well, he's going to go find them, isn't he? George, I need to sign some papers, said the man with the yellow hat. Please stay here and don't get too curious. Just as the man with the yellow hat left the room, George heard barking. Maybe it was the puppies. But where was it coming from? George was curious. Oh, there he goes. He followed the barking noises. Silly George. There they are. And he found a room full of dogs. There were yellow dogs, spotted dogs, sleek dogs, fluffy dogs. There were quiet dogs and yappy dogs, and even a dog without a tail. But where were the puppies? Then George saw a little wagging tail. Then another, and another. Hey, he found them. He's excited. Once George saw the puppies, he could not take his eyes off them. He had to pet one. Here was a puppy. This puppy liked George. George wanted to hold the puppy, so slowly he opened the door. And then, boom! Before George could even reach the puppy, the mama dog pushed the door open and was off like a shot. There she goes. George tried to close the door after her, but the puppies were so fast. There was nothing George could do. Oh no, he let them all out, didn't he? They're all running now. Puppies. Oh boy, George. Puppies were everywhere. Puppies hid under the desk. Puppies barked at bunnies. One puppy played with a telephone cord, and another climbed on top of the cage to watch the others get into mischief. Oh, they're all over doing some naughty things. Soon all the dogs were barking, the cats were meowing, and the bunnies rustled into the corner of their cage. The puppies are scaring them all. Oh no, cried the director as she and the man with the yellow hat rushed into the room. Now all the puppies are out. The man with the yellow hat helped the director gather up the puppies and put them safely back in their cage. Soon all the animals settled down and were quiet. Crazy George, always making mischief, isn't he? Except for one, who was still barking. It was the mother dog, Mommy Dog. What was she barking at? There was nothing there, but here but a door. Remember, there was a puppy missing, though, wasn't there? There must be something on the other side of that door, thought George. So he opened the door, and it was the missing puppy. Everyone was happy to finally find the puppy. The director scooped him up and said, "George, you certainly caused a ruckus, but if you didn't let that puppies out, we might still be searching for this little one." There he is. He's hiding in the corner in the closet, isn't he? Then she gave the puppies and their mom a snack. These puppies are now big enough to go live with families. Families who will take care of them. That's kind of neat, huh? Maybe George will get to take one home. She said, "Do you want to take one home with you, George?" Oh boy. How crazy is that? George did. There's a puppy he took home. He's a lucky guy, huh? Nice little puppy. Alright, that's the end of that story.